anything we should know besides to take the meds?
No, his base constitution is quite good, so I'm sure he'll recover quite quickly after taking the medicine. Please, make sure to stick to bland or less stiff.
Got it! Paimon will hold the trap. Oh, you're going to take a nap already? We've been to lots of places together. He may look a bit under the weather now, but he's actually super
So you're the best of companions. Well, don't worry. He'll recover soon. Ah, you're awake.
How do you feel? You slept for a really long time, but we never left.
Well, now you can go back without a worry in the world. Remember to take your...
Thank you, Miss Sijween!
Take it easy.
Are something. To be able to fall asleep like that and even sleep talk the entire time, you scared Paimon half to death! No, but you kept mumbling things along the lines of, Pyron, go take my grilled fish and put down the Adeptus Temptation now. Paimon talked with Sijween the entire time you were asleep. She seems like she's just a sincere nurse and... Whoa! You really are super thorough! All those tiny little suspicious things that Paimon... Today's the day! Let's go meet up with Linny! Oh!
Hmm? Did you two run into any trouble over the past few days?
No, we just worked our shifts according to the schedule.
That's good. We've taken a look at the slip you've sent. Fremine successfully left the grounds via the pipes 2 days ago, and as of last night, Lynette has also infiltrated the infirmary after faking an illness.
Wait, why is she...
You already went above and beyond when you scoped out the infirmary. To put it more bluntly, even if we were to infiltrating a guarded stronghold is a different kind of job from a one-off investigation. We want to avoid using the same faces over and over. Lynette also felt like you have already taken the first step for us, so she...
So that's what Lynette thinks. Oh, Paimon hopes everything's going well for her.
Perhaps that's true. You are both very good people, and we've come to appreciate that. You've mentioned before that you've had some run-ins with the Fatui. I can understand that feeling, so I assume you're just helping us out of the kindness of your hearts?
Well, everyone could use some more friends. We'll be counting on you to help us in the future.
Since I see you as friends, then it's even more important for us to protect you from any peril. Fremine is glad to hear it. Then, let's go check on...
Is now really a good time to go?
According to my observations, Sigewinne always spends around half an hour away from the infirmary right before lunch. Lynette knows this as well, so this should... Also, I'm her brother, remember? It's only natural...
Okay, then let's head over.
Lynette should be here, right? Huh. Strange.
As expected, Sigewinne isn't here, but why isn't Lynette here?
No, Lynette rarely deviates from the plan. We agreed that if she were to make... Unless...
Let's see if there are any clues around here. We can look while we wait for her.
Okay.
There are some books here and a few files. They all look like advanced nursing, how to raise the spirit of your pig. These sure are some interesting books. She even has books on understanding people's motivations and feelings.
Seems quite normal to me. None of the beds have any signs of having been slept in.
That's the one Lynette must have used, right? You said
She would have said her migraine was having a particularly bad flare-up. Generally speaking, the head nurse would then ask her to lie down and rest, which means either the head nurse didn't return the entire time from when Lynette laid down up until she left the bed, or the...
this is it! We saw it!
Wait, this thing? It doesn't look... The space behind it is empty. From its size, I don't think it's an entrance that is meant to be taken up. Could Lynette have tried to get inside? But if that's... let's look around here for some more clues.
Hey, you guys, there's a slip of...
A slip of paper.
It's right over here, and there's a bunch written on it too. It reads, out of respect for your usual practices, I'll use a piece of paper or card as the means...
This is...
Is that all? The back.
Show me! Now!
That look on your face. Would you care to guess where Miss Lynette of the Fatui could be? No. Could she...
Wriothesley. Did he deliberately leave the infirmary unguarded to use it as bait?
Wait, you mean he was aware of our goals from the very beginning? But why? We didn't run into any...
Yes, that is a crucial question. Wriothesley, you're not from the same camp as us. You were sent down here by Nervulet, so you have no conflict of interest with Wriothesley. We're a completely different story, though. I'd like to know that, too. Why did he only go after her? Don't panic, just think everything over. Wait, you're right. The fact that Fremine was able to leave the grounds could rise...
But what does he gain by letting Fremine leave like...
So he's challenging me and trying to provoke me, I'm sure. We never should have sent out Fremine. We had to go through all that trouble to find an opening to sneak him around the guards and into the pipe, and we even thought luck was on our side. If Risley let him leave on purpose, then he's probably in a terrible spot now as well.
Lenny's getting more and more panicked. We have to calm him down. Don't be like this, Lenny. Fremine wouldn't have left if we hadn't told you about—
No, I'm the leader of this operation, and I'm the one
Hey, don't be reckless! Traveler—
I simply cannot allow Lynette. I have to go.
He's rushed out the door! After him!
Right. I feel like we still have some room to make changes on the—
It's not impossible, but it'll require
Is that so? Very well. Then.
Is someone?
Pack everything up. Whoever's outside is eavesdropping. They'll
Someone! Please help!
Whoa, are you okay?
What a delightful turn of events. I like smart people, but oh my! What's wrong, little one? Being able to read.
Lenny! Wait! It's no use. We have to catch up to him. He's already out of sight. How is he so fast? Let's go head him off at Risley's office.
Come out and face me, Risley!
Aren't we at an administrative office space? Why don't you at least—
What did you do to my
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea. I do have—
Stop joking around! Where did you take my—
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynette would— maybe she'll appear behind you right now.
Is he trying to trick me? You knew we were investigating the As for Fremine,
There was no need to do so. The Fortress of Meripede is a—
you removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our—
One correction. Lynette is in—
He's not. What do you—
Lenny!
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say this once. Eager and to the point, I see. Alas, only Miss— although as per your original plan, Mr. Fremine should also have returned to the fortress by now. But he is—
Wait. You locked him outside?
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside.
Fremine's a star diver, so he
No, we're still here, so he definitely tried to find a way to come back for us.
But why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Linney is a great magician, so it's only— Besides, I do recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette that you've always wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with the Lord of the Fortress of—
So, you've been keeping tabs.
Some of my folks just happened to hear a thing or two, that's all. I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. Mr. Linney, the cards are stacked against you right now. Miss Lynette is in my hands, and Mr. Fremine is still slowly being— You need do but one thing to guarantee their safety. I would like you to contact your superior, and ideally invite her—
You want to see Father?
Well, if she cares for the well-being of her dearest children. I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth are—
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the Fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no man's land.
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here. That's such a shame.
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much pressure—
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking for is a face-to-face conversation. Mr. Linney, you have one last chance to invite—
Lenny!
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective for a second? I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only caused you to double down. Had you given up on the fortress then and there, Mr. Fremenet left the fortress on his own, and Miss Lynette tried to pry out—
I shouldn't ask Father to do anything because of us.
6,
Wait,
2, time's up.
Risley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave.
Yeah, listen to the Traveler. If you can—
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette, but that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The fortress may be small and remote, but it still Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time, and I'll ask you 3 questions. Answer all of them. Question 1. Regarding the hidden rules of the production zone, what is the
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just... The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupon. We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prison. Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed... The research notes said that the Melazine race perceives the world very... According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place... The Fonta promoter has been struggling because... I've been told that the infirmary is... Fonta's internal reports suggest that there's... The Fonta promoter has been... We often see Miss C... According to Collins, the Pancration tournament... The research notes said... I've been told that the I've been told that the infirmary is always... Fonta's internal reports suggest that... According to Collins, the... I've been told that the infirmary... According to Collins, the I've been told that the infirmary is... The research notes said that the Melazine...
So that's what's going on. Paimon under the hidden rule of the production zone. People are not supposed to... At first we thought this strange meat must have something to do with the people who disappeared. But in reality, they were all prepared by Sijuin, the head... She often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health and makes a note out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine concern for the workers' health. Sijuin has only the best... Unfortunately, Melazines as a race, the recipients of... Are we on the...
Not bad. You've uncovered Sijuin's secret and even guessed her intent. All right, now for my... There are also some hidden rules in the Pancration ring, including the...
Fonta's internal reports suggest... The Fonta promoter The research notes said that the Melazine... The Fonta promoter Fonta's internal reports The Fonta promoter has been... The Fonta promoter has been... The Fonta promoter has been struggling because... According to Collins...
Paimon gets this rule too now. So they're really... That hidden rule of the Pancration ring is about how, people get scared when they see see it because they've subconsciously begun to... But really, it's just a bottle of the latest yet-to-be-named and packaged new Fanta... A blood-red drink. It's no wonder even Fanta's own staff were questioning the company. The company, facing backlash from its own staff, decided to try to trial the product and a smaller... They came to the fortress of Meropide and offered to sponsor the pancreas. The Duke, knowing how valuable coupons are in the fortress, knew that only total idiots who didn't understand, and so only those...
I acknowledge the effort you've put into bringing the truth of... Although, based on your description, that Fanta promoter is a bit too careless with his words. I may just reconsider my collab... All right, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Risley! You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question. You'll pay... Ah!
Lenny, are you alright?
Oh, close one.
It was nothing, Your Grace.
Sejuin?
Though this gun may look like a toy, it's actually fully
Lane... You...
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress. When Monsieur Nervulette asked me to come here, he told me that my job would be to...
But if you mean what you just said, then isn't Lenny someone you should be looking after as well?
But I really am just doing what Monsieur Nervulette told me to do. Everything. His Grace knows it too, right? Your
My dear Sejuin, whatever shall I do with you? Would it have...
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you...
What are you talking about?
Take me if you want.
How...
Don't be like that.
All right, everyone, calm. I'll go get a cup of tea. Miss Sejuin.
You...
I believe I hear footsteps.
Some space, please.
Ah, Miss Claret.
Freminet...
What's going on? What is Clarin doing here?
Work.
I'm sorry about shooting you, Mr. Linney. The tranquilizing effect will begin to wear...
What happened to Freminet? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like...
A flushed face, an accelerated pulse.
What?
Please, make some space. I'll need to give Mr. Freminet...
I'll talk to Clorand while you get Freminet to where he needs to be.
How is he?
These symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of a large amount of... Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further observation. Let's leave... sorry.
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater after...
Please, look after Mr. Freminet for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator.
Where is she?
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room.
What's that look on your face? I thought I made good time on the way back.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few minutes later, Sejuin may have been forced to shoot Mr. Linney. How's the situation out there?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay for...
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance into the...
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized it.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack for picking out who had good intentions, even when the outcome...
It's a bad sign if you're having to plead your case to Neuvillette. Want some tea?
Not particularly. If you...
Fine, I'd like to get some tea. Want me to get you a...
Might as well then, I suppose.
Linny, are you okay?
I'll be fine.
Are you sure?
My hands and feet are still a bit weak, but...
I'm back, everyone. Lenny! Huh. Remine? He'll be fine. But for now...
His breathing's beginning.
Give me a hand and help me get...
Yeah, I'll take him from this side.
On it. Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. Want to...
The Duke and Clarande are gone.
They probably went to get some tea.
He's awake.
We're all here. The infirmary, at the fortress of...
How do you feel? Don't push him.
The sea! There's something wrong with the seawater.
Shh, it's okay.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now. I'm in. Seems like this pipe hasn't been used in a long time. It looks abandoned. Where could Master Child be? This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it?
getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it. This is where the water stops. Master Child The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. I should be going in. Oh, there are traces here too. I need to keep going. Huh? The traces are gone. But I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait. What the? My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it. I can't die here. I have to push on.
So, in other words, the trail you were following vanished, and
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance.
Miss Clarande brought you back, but we also don't know why she just...
Miss Clarande, you say?
You're still too weak for Monet. Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarande...
a guest. Then I can assume.
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to
Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on.
No, please go on without me.
Lenny.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave.
In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you.
Thank you.
Excuse me!
I take it Mr. Fremonet's condition has stabilized?
Of course! I wouldn't have left the—
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit?
I wanted to check up on Miss Cloran. How are you feeling?
Mostly fine, I think.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam.
All right. Thank you for
Well, want to
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten? Where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have? You can start with whichever one. No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your investigation.
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were trying to do?
They came here with ulterior motives. Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape. But in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding help— Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went. So I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own—
So you were hoping Linny's group would just do your work for you?
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremonet has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the fortress of Meripede is on the rise. The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene—
Are the rumors true?
Why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of—
Oh, right!
Me, of course. As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an except—
And saving Fremonet was—
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that boy is quite adept at diving. Had conditions not been as hostile as— That's not something you should be asking after. All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be—
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our
You make a compelling case,
Yeah, Paimon really wants—
even if the truth may not be pleasant. Follow me.
Door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Risley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the fort— Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or— Whoa! So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything What a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go in. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little
Well, Paimon—
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen—
Lightning flash!
Huh. So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
Whoa. They all just went up one by one.
Go on, have a look. I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential danger that could be behind it. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position, likely because some parameter it's been tracking has changed, if only infinitesimal. Normally I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Any guesses what the very reasonable guesses? I've considered both of those as well. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the pressure from the outside. Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude—
The concentration of...
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial sea— Yes.
But forget about the two of us. Not even Novelette knows where the primordial sea could be. Oh.
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater, the indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out and mixed into the sea. If this continues, soon it will no longer be able to— Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
But that's just too weird. Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. When the previous Hydro Archon Egeria ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away like a wolf pack chasing away the banished. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside. Some of them began to repent and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to their successors. The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would regain their freedom once they had sufficiently redeemed. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their after many, many centuries. Few people still remember now and again, researchers managed to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian.
But now you know every part of that.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy said. To be frank, not really. But sadly, prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the— Let's go somewhere else. This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from—
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
Huh?
No need to panic.
What? After you warned us not to tell us.
I'm skeptical as well. Are you?
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know.
All right then, if your grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.